I hadn't told anyone. I was 9 months pregnant. Nobody knew I hid it. So I was like, I gotta do something before I get too big. I had to make a decision.
I wanted him to be placed with a family, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't handle it. I don't think anybody in my family could. So that's why I actually chose the adoption plan.
I'll always love him, but I wanted him to have everything. Everything. You know, everything that I didn't have or wanted, and everything that his heart could desire. And I wanted somebody who can give it to him, and I couldn't.
I think I made the best decision. I don't know where I would be without adoption, or as far as raising 2 kids. I felt like a struggle was released off my shoulders. They are the best.
When I first came into adoption arc, I was really nervous and scared because I still didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just, opened up and talked to them, and they kind of comfort me. They let me know that it was okay, that a lot of people go through this all the time, and as long as I was doing it for the right reasons, it was the right choice.
Adoption became my choice. It became really like my savior for my child.
My grandmother actually gave her first child up for adoption, and she seems like she's full of regret, but then I felt like I don't want to feel like that. I think I want it to be open. So maybe if I make this decision and then he know that he's so loved, that he has all these parents.
I already have 2 kids. My oldest is 6, my youngest is 2. I didn't have a permanent place to stay. I was in between my boyfriend's and my mom's house, you know what I mean? And I was already struggling with the 2 I had. So I knew I couldn't take care of him, and I would rather somebody that could actually take care of him than me take it on and just be struggling and, him struggling too.
I just had decided that if I ever was pregnant again, that, that maybe it was responsible enough for me to make a decision that maybe I should give it to somebody that really deserved it.
I found myself, with love and life growing inside me, knowing that I could not financially take care of him, that my health was failing, that I might not live too far past the pregnancy if I made it through it. And I'm blessed to be here now. And I didn't have a big family. I didn't want him in foster care. He didn't want to be one of those kids. I wanted him to have a family and to be loved for the rest of his life.
My birth parent counselor made me feel very comfortable, and she was there every step of the way.
We had a friendship, I feel like we had a bond, and I really feel like she was more like my best friend through that pregnancy, because nobody else could understand what it feels like to give up your child.
Someone that was really, really, like in my book, a good friend. She took me on lunch dates and we talked, and she really, really got to know who I was, and she helped me out, and I felt like everything was really gonna be okay, She supported me 100% with everything, for as going to the doctors, everything. She provided security. She made me feel that no matter what, she wasn't gonna judge me, and that she understood every obstacle, every situation that led me to that point.
They gave me a lot of support themselves. They also gave me, numbers to counseling and things like that if I needed help, like if I wasn't, I was going through a lot, and they just gave me a lot of resources and things for people that I could actually talk to. And them themselves actually helped me by just talking to me and, answering my texts, answering phone calls, calling me just to see how I am.
And I remember the one night I was in distress, like I was very upset. I was in a bad place. Really had nowhere to go at the time. It was, it wasn't a good feeling or a good place to be. And I called up, and I think I was on the phone for a couple hours.
I never felt so comfortable with a person and never knew anything about their background or where they came from. So it was just all love there.
As working with my birth counselor, we explained what I would expect in an adoption, and she looked through families and picked out families for me that she think were better to suit what I preferred.
Then I was shown books of different couples, and I was able to look through it and just see what they go through day to day, how they live, where they live, things like that.
It was a couple who I was like, no, I don't want to pick them. But as soon as I got that one book, it was like love at first sight. And they just made me comfortable enough to give him to them.
I saw their pictures, their photos, and everything matched up. Like everything that I would want and everything that he could want, they had.
It was something about their profile. They loved each other. That's what was most important about it. They really loved each other.
I found out about international adoption and that they're a lot more open.
They give me a lot of freedom when it comes to the baby.
They work with me a lot more. They're willing to do more visits. They're just really easygoing and easier to work with.
I think we'll be good because he's not like around here. He won't have to go through the things that I went through or see the things that I went through. You know what I mean? It's like a different environment. Maybe he'll, be better because of a better environment.
It didn't matter to me where they lived. I thought to myself, like, wow, they're going to experience so many different ways of life than we do here in the United States.
It may be far away, but we're at a great age where we have computers and we get to keep pictures in seconds. Like I get sent. We could talk anytime that we want to.
I do Skypes 3 times a month. In the beginning, we used to do it once a month. Then it came to 3 times a month. And sometimes I do it more than that, depending on how my oldest son feel. If he say he wants to see his brother, I get on the phone and I call.
Even though I am not there with him, the presence that I feel was just letters and the updates and things like that. It makes me warm inside, like I know I'm there, even though I'm not really there to touch him, And they send me videos and things like that, so I just feel really comfortable and I love them.
It was just like easier with them. Like every visit just made me feel way more comfortable with my choice.
Me and his adopted parents have the best bond that you can ever think of. They are the best. He's always happy. I just love them. They are the best.
It inspires me. It definitely, because I tell my kids every day, like, about him, and I have their pictures all around filled with his pictures in between to let them know that he still exists right here in our hearts, even though we don't see him every day.
The first time I met Marco's mother, she seen me and she came over and gave me a hug. And she put her arms around me and she started crying. And she said, "Thank you." And I said, "For what?" She's like, "For giving me my grandchild." This impacted more people than just me, than just Marco, than just Alex, than just my son, And that's when I really realized he had family. He had real family.
Adoption Arc, it has been there for me since I first picked up the phone.
Anything I ever needed, they did for me, and they were helpful.
I would thank them for being there for me when I didn't have anybody else. You know, I really didn't have anybody that I could call and just let them know actually what I was going through. You know, I actually hid my pregnancy until I couldn't anymore. So I just wanted to thank y'all for that.
I think they were the divine tool and everything meant to bring it together. Without Adoption Arc, I don't think, I know I would not have the type of relationship I have today. I am very grateful.
All of the people gave me like so much peace and had me thinking that, you know, this was really, you know, inspiring and a good thing. I knew that this was the right place, so I chose Adoption Arc.